the stream. There we go. What's going on? Can you guys hear me? Make sure you guys can hear me loud and clear. Tap on into the comment section if you guys can hear me loud and clear. And what's going on? Peace and well, I can't hold on one second. Peace is me. What's up? How are you? Welcome aboard. Listen, this is going to be a really relaxed stream. Okay, I'm not going to make this about starting your business. I'm going to be talking a little bit about me and my experiences all through this whole entire phlebotomy world. Okay, specifically speaking, the time that I hired 1099 workers and they pretty much try to rob my ass, and I'm just like, why go through all of this, interviewing and conversations and meeting up and getting the boxes to your house if you're going to waste my time? Okay, so we're going to be talking about that. But I'm excited because we get that. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So we're going to talk about that just so we can hear different experiences. And I'm going to also give you guys just like some interview questions that you guys can actually ask. So I have about 20 of them that I can show you guys. And just, what to look out for whenever you're talking to these phlebotomists that are working for you or wanting to work for you as 1099 employees, because you have some people that are coming into your business wanting to actually work for you and wanting to get the experience. And you got people who really want to fuck you over, okay? And that's just what it is. Excuse my language. But it sucks because they take your kindness for a weakness, or they just, want to ask you questions just to get insight on how to do things, for their business or for their benefit. And it's messed up, So I'm going to just, share my experience. I'm sure people had other experiences too, where phlebotomists were changing the price for the mileage and saying a person's X amount of miles away when they're just down the street. It's all crazy, So it is good for me to vent it off and just really talk to you guys about it. So I would love to hear what you guys have to say about that as well. And what's your experience too? So if you guys have a mobile phlebotomy business right now, you're hiring 1099 workers. Have you ever been in a situation where they either stole equipment, they stole hours from working for you? They lied about the times or the draws that they've done. I've had many of those too, saying that they sent the specimen up, the specimen was never sent. People just working with you, wanting to just get insight on your business. Like I heard Ashley went through that too, pretty recently as well. But it's just so many hidden agendas within this, and it's but so much professionalism you can actually do and say, but it's almost like, why is this a target? Why is this, happening? You know what I mean? But it's wild. It is so wild. Like I just remember like the back of my hand is just like, when I was working with this person, because I'm going to tell you everything. Hold on. Let me actually get this screen up so you guys can see. And then we're going to get started. One second. I'm going to share my screen really quick. We're going to preview this right here. Hiring phlebotomists. So share screen. All right, perfect. You guys can see this. You guys can see the screen, right? Okay. So, hiring phlebotomy employees. Okay. My biggest mistake. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you guys this so that you guys don't make this mistake. Okay, because I screwed myself over. And I told the story in the actual phlebotomy group too, but for you guys I just keep it short and simple. But you'll have a situation to where maybe there is a stat order that comes out of nowhere, and when you start your mobile phlebotomy business, you get really excited when people calling you and they want services done, whether it's a collection, a draw, whatever, right? So when they come to you with these opportunities, you want to actually fulfill them, to let them know like, hey, I can actually do this job. Can we all agree to that? Nod your heads. So in this situation, we're trying to fulfill these duties for these laboratories, for these agencies to draw these blood, right? But at the same time, you can't get to the north side if you live on the south side. So it won't even be possible. So it puts you in the pressure, right? So now you're just like, I'm hungry. I need to make this work. It's going to work. I have to do some different things. So now you're hiring, right? This patient needs to get done on the north side. You're at the south side. So you start your hiring process. So you go and you're starting to hire on Indeed or ZipRecruiter or Monster.com, and you're getting all of these people interested in your services. And I've seen it happen. People, I'm literally going Indeed. If you have a mobile phlebotomy business and you're ready to hire and you're wanting to get 1099 workers, people will contact you fast. Who has a business? Who has ever done it? Comment in the comment section. I've done it and I've seen it. Comment that, because honestly, you will get 1099 workers to want to work with you. But out of every bunch is some sneaky people too that just want information or insight too. How can I do what you're doing? You know what I mean? Or how can I get what you have going on? Or how can I get that contract? Whatever. But people have some hidden agendas. But there's some people that genuinely are just, they're retired and they just love to draw blood and they want to say, hey, I want to help your company. I want to help your business. I want to be a part of the team. Marketing and negotiating, all that's just not for me. You know what I mean? I'm gonna leave that to you. And I can respect that. You know what I mean? Because there's certain things for certain people. You know what I mean? If we can all agree to that, nod our heads, right? So different things for different people mean, that she's willing to do, the job as a 1099 worker for the phlebotomy business. So she's going out there, she's doing a draw, she's feeling, great with it's great with the money. So everything's working out. But then you'll have these, 1099 workers that, want to work, right? But they also are looking for opportunities too, or they want to work, but they don't take you seriously, So now they're working for you, and now they're either doing draws or they're doing it at their own time. They're not communicating with the patient. That's why I say you guys should have all, not service agreements, but policies and procedures. And going over training with these people before you have them go out to see your patients, because if anything happens, it's going to fall on your business's name, okay? Because these people call One Touch Mobile Lab or Angel Touch Mobile Labs or whatever your mobile phlebotomy business is, they're going to come to that company's, okay? I feel like I got to sneeze. Sorry. But they're going to come for your business, okay? So if anything goes wrong, they're coming to you. So when you're hiring these 1099 workers, I strongly suggest that you do a hiring process. My mistake was that I didn't do a hiring process because I wanted to get something fulfilled quick. It was like a stat almost, and I couldn't get to that side. So it's like, hey, I'd rather have someone else do it where I can hire them and then knock it out, right? So I posted it, on the Indeed. I think I did Indeed. Indeed's probably like one of the fastest ways to actually get some traction or some people to work for you for your mobile phlebotomy business. And then once I did that, I was able to get, hundreds of people, right? But I wanted a specific area because I didn't want all these people that I'm not even about the service. It's like, why are you contacting me if you're in Harrisburg? I need somebody that is in, Upper Darby or Bucks County or something like that. So I don't really need you. But what happened was I found the person that was maybe 10 minutes away from the actual patient's house. So for me, that would have been out my way to go out to that patient's house. But they needed blood work done on a specific day. And I know I couldn't do that. So I hired this person. Now, this person, I know her. I'm not going to say the company. I'm not messy. I'm not going to do all that. But what I will say is I know her, and now she's back for mentorship, right? I actually coach her and mentor her. Twisted, right? You see how karma works? But she's back getting mentorship. But let me just explain how it worked, how it happened. If you guys want to know what happened, comment what happened. Let me know. I'm gonna get this all set up. Let me know if you guys are interested in what happened, because I don't want this to happen to you guys. Let me know if you guys are here. Just comment the word "what happened." Comment what happened. All right, so let's do this. Instagram went to jump in. Oops. Sorry, I always forget. There we go. Sorry. All right, so this is what happened since you asked. um, hold on. Oh, okay, I have had an experience the other side of that where an employer got people excited about the job and never came through with a what? People were left with excitement and no job. Wow. You know what's so crazy? That's what I tell a lot of 1099 workers too, because when you start your mobile phlebotomy business, right? You don't want to be in a situation to where you hire like 30 to 50 people, right? And they're all excited because you got the job posted, you got the amount that you're gonna be paying them. They don't work part-time, they don't work full-time, they work their time, meaning they can pick whatever time they want, right? So they're excited, right? So you get their information, social security information, so you can actually, send them over their checks and everything. You need their account number, you need their ID to make sure who they are and everything else. Some people ask for VIN numbers just to make sure that their car is actually active with their insurance and stuff like that. So you're getting all their personal information, right? And then what happens is, let's just say you don't get as many patients as you expected. You just have enough for maybe 2 to 3 people to draw around the city for you, right? So now you have 30 to 50 other people in your back pocket, and it's like, wait a minute, I gave you all this information. What do you mean? I haven't been working for the past month now. You know what I mean? So now you're in the pickle, people calling you scams, and you take people's information and you don't give them jobs. You promise this, you promise that, and it's just like, you know what I mean? So, wow, yeah. So I can understand that. It gets you all hype and excited for the actual job, but when it's time to actually play ball and make money, it's like it's just what just happened. I gave you all my information. You promised all this, but nothing happens. You know what I mean? So that's crazy. But for me, I'll just keep it simple and sweet, and then we're going to talk about the hiring phlebotomy employees. Just going to go through that really quick. I started my mobile phlebotomy business and I needed patients drawn. And then when I reached out to this person, right, this person actually took the equipment that I gave to them and they kept it for themselves. So when I went to drop the equipment off to them, I met them in person, shook their hand and everything, like saw their kids and all that, because I had to literally come there personally to drop off boxes to them because I had a lot of patients that they needed drawn. So when I went there, I met the kids, I dropped the boxes off, and it was good to go. It was like, okay, great. I appreciate you for sticking, for wanting to partner with me to help me out and everything else. I know it was last minute. I appreciate it. It started at 7:00 in the morning the next day. Okay. I know I couldn't make it, but I was willing to drive out there the day before just so that I can, give her the equipment because I wasn't able to make it the next day that morning. So I hired her. So the next day, I like to do QC calls and I like to do follow-up calls with all my phlebotomists just to make sure you're up, you're active. I send over a text message, good morning. 6 patients confirmed, they confirm back with me. If you don't confirm back with me, we got a problem. You're not there, you're not active, what's going on? Once you confirm with me, I'll leave you alone. But she didn't confirm with me. So I called her maybe 3 to 5 times, right? And guess what happened? The 5th time she blocked me. So I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? What's happening right now? So she blocked me. And when she blocked me, I got in my car and I went over to her place just to see. I wasn't gonna like run up on her and not like that. Because the person that we need to get drawn, or the people need to get drawn, they were not too far from her house. So it was just like, what's going on? I gave her tubes, I gave her needles, I gave her alcohol, I was so happy I didn't give her the centrifuge. Oh my gosh, I would have been so mad if I gave her a centrifuge. But I gave her everything, all the necessities to draw about 30 people. So once I got to her house that morning, just to see what's going on, I recognized the car. I recognized the house, of course. I called again, still blocked, going to voicemail, but the equipment was in the car. So I'm just like, what's going on? It was heartbreaking at first, but I was just pissed off because I'm just like, you just played me, you know what I mean? And then you blocked me on top of that, and no conversation, no telling me anything, but you got my equipment. Now I'm feeling some type of way. And it's just like why go through all that stress and training, not training, but conversation on who you need to draw, how you need to draw them, what time they need to be dropped off. Why go through all that if you're just going to play games? Okay. So that's how I was feeling at that time because I was just so upset. But later now, as I'm starting my business, I'm learning from mistakes, I'm learning from different people, and I actually get into coaching and mentorship now, right? So I'm helping people while starting their business. Why did the same person who who wanted to partner with me, stole my equipment, was the same person that joined my mentorship and coaching till this day? Like she still asks me questions and everything. I don't know if she forgot or she's oblivious to it. I don't know, but I don't forget any faces, especially if you do me wrong. It's like I have you locked in my head for the rest of my life. So every time I see you, I just remember what you did to me, But yeah, it's just like embedded in my head. But she's in my mentorship and coaching program. So it's just weird or ironic, how that happened, because I still am willing to help her out, give her tips and everything. But in the back of my mind, I'm just like, you really try to play me. You really try to really, just, I don't know, you did me dirty. You know what I mean? So I don't think I'll ever get an apology. I'm not asking for that. I don't want that. But I just want to spread awareness that, the people that you do hire, you need to make sure, you need to understand their motives, their intentions, what their plans are in the next, year or two, what it is that they want to do so that you can have an idea on who you're about to hire, you know what I mean? And what their intentions are. Okay. But let's jump into this. Let's jump into this. Now I got in my car. Yes, seriously, I got right in my car because it was just like one of those things. Like, okay, she playing. Let me double check because even if I went to go see the patients, I would have to drive past her house anyway. So maybe something happened, But once I was blocked, I just knew. Oh, okay. This isn't good. Something happened overnight, a conversation, something, but it was just like, okay, that's weird. But anyway, nonetheless, let's jump into this. What's up, Instagram world? Can you guys hear me? Let's see. How do you guys? I want to wave. What's going on? Can you guys hear me? Hey. All right, so we're going to talk about the hiring process really quick for your phlebotomist. If you got some wine, grab some wine. We're just kicking it back tonight, okay? All right, so let's look over here really quick, you guys. So where are we at? We're right over here. Okay, so hiring phlebotomy employees. The hiring process typically involves several steps to ensure that you select the most qualified candidates for your mobile phlebotomy business. And here are the general steps involved in hiring. So you're going to identify staffing needs, job analysis and job description, of course, recruitment strategy, application screening, interviews, skill assessments and testing, background checks and references, decision making, offer of employment, of course, onboarding, orientation, and training. Okay. So in the phlebotomy world, we understand that some things are just not going to be done right then and there, like anymore, at least. For me, that experience happened to where I had someone needed a need, and I tried to find someone really quick who I thought I could trust, but I couldn't trust him for shit. Okay, nothing at all. Like I couldn't trust him as far as I can throw him. All right, so this will absolutely kind of break down the person that you're about to hire, so you can actually understand what it is that you're about to what is it there, so they can understand what it is that they're about to get into, and you can understand their needs and what it is that they ultimately want. Because if they want to start a mobile phlebotomy business, honestly, personally, I just don't want to deal with another person like that underneath my business. You know what I mean? I want to deal with people that are maybe just fresh out of school, students that want experience so that they can get into the hospital field. I don't mind that. You got to learn somewhere. But or seasoned ones that just want to keep busy. They want to get out the house. They want to just do draws just to make a couple of dollars on the side or whatever. You know what I mean? I want to deal with those type of phlebotomists, the middle ones that are just trying to find a hustle, trying to take your contracts and stuff like that. I have labs call me and they're like, why are they trying to negotiate with me? And I'm just like, no, you don't even sound, no. These people don't even sound right when you're trying to negotiate with these labs, because it sounds so desperate. It sounds so so cutthroat that it's not even, it's not even a good deal. It's not, so before you try to cut the middleman off, understand, you don't want to burn bridges, and you don't want to be in a situation to where if you try to get a contract by cutting the third party off, you may be in violation of some agreements that you may have signed, or some NDAs or some non-compete agreements too. So you want to be mindful of those things as well, right? But let me just briefly go through this again. So identifying staff needs, determine the specific roles and positions you need to fill in your mobile phlebotomy business, assess the workload, consider any skill gaps in your current team, and determine the numbers of employees needed. Again, I tell you guys all the time, get about 2 to 3 employees you can keep in your back pocket, and that is all you need to be successful. I promise you. If you get an army, it's just going to be a lot, especially if you have a small business. And of course, you want to make it to where you're feeding them all the time. But if you get maybe 10 people, it's just like you got to keep them all fed, because if you don't, they're just like, well, that was a waste of time for me even applying if you don't have the workload for them, okay? So definitely identify your staffing needs, okay? Oh, that's so good. Next, job analysis and job description. Very basic stuff. You can do that on Indeed. Just having a description of the job, of the position that you're offering, mobile phlebotomy, what time of day you're doing it, the hours, operation, all that's going to be the job description. Recruitment strategy, develop a recruitment strategy to attract potential candidates. Determine the most efficient channels for reaching qualified candidates, such as job boards, industry-specific websites, social media. So this is where you're going to different places. So I see a lot of people, they usually go to Facebook groups. They can find them in different hospitals or different phlebotomy schools to try to recruit new ones. So you can find recruitment strategy. You can find phlebotomists anywhere with your recruitment strategy. You just need to find what strategy you want to actually do and just execute that. Application screening, one of the big ones, right? So I suggest you guys get like a Zoom meeting going on, and you literally interview this person, for 20 questions. And I'll have 20 questions for you guys so you guys can check it out. And make sure you take screenshots of it too, so that you can have on your end, so that whenever you do end up screening these phlebotomists, you know what to ask them. So you can't say, oh, well, I don't know what to ask, it's awkward or whatever. Break the ice. What's a centrifuge? How do you balance it? What's an SST? What additives are in the elaborator tube? You got to be quick. Let them know that you know your stuff, and that you expect highly of them. So people are going to be a reflection of you. You know what I mean? And you want to make sure that those people understand that too. Okay. So you have the interview questions, of course. I like Zoom, so it's not bad. Skill assessment and testing. So let's just say prior to you having these phlebotomists work for you, right? So you're talking to, we're going to say Sam. Okay, Sam wants to work for you. Sam says, hey, I'm a phlebotomist. I've been in phlebotomy for 25 years, right? I've been drawing blood, pediatrics, elderly, patients with edema, scar tissue, whatever, right? So now you have to test them or give them a skills assessment to just determine if they're even qualified to work with you. Maybe your assessment is going to allow people to work with you if you have 80%. If you get an 80% and above, you're guaranteed an interview with me. If you don't, you just don't qualify. So you got to pass these 10 questions that I'm going to give to you regarding phlebotomy or mobile phlebotomy. And if you don't pass, you just don't make the grade. Sorry. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the skills assessment. We need those, okay? Because everybody can say that they're a phlebotomist, but what actually do you know, okay? So that's going to be important. Background checks and references. This is so important, but it's kind of hard sometimes because they've been using their friends and family members. There's so many people that I've been talking to that has sent me references, and I talk to their mom. And I'm just like, man, this ain't gonna work. You can tell your daughter she don't have a job because this is too much. Y'all, you lying. I can hear them in the background. It's just too much. You know what I mean? So that those games I don't like. You know what I mean? Or the reference got the same address, so you're about to get into some games. So I don't even call because y'all sitting here playing when I really want to know who you are. I really want to know your background. I really want to know this stuff so that I can know that I have the best phlebotomist for my business to go to these patients' houses. Because my liabilities on the line, so that's going to be completely important. Okay. Background checks. I wouldn't hire someone, who went to jail for assault or burglary or something crazy. That's just me personally. Because if I have a patient who's irritated because, that's just their personality, or they're just irate, and you got that one phlebotomist who just got out of jail for, aggravated assault because, whatever happened, but she's ready to pop off on anybody. So the patient says, ow, that hurts. And she's just like, well, you shouldn't have moved. And now they got friction going on and this bad vibes. Now they cuss each other out. Now I got a bad review and you don't care because you just went to the next job. So I got to deal with that. So background checks are so needed to be done. Reference checks are definitely needed too. I say maybe doing about 3 phlebotomists that knows that person for a reference, a strong reference. Okay. Decision making, of course, you're gonna make that decision based off of the skills assessment, the interview, the references. All that's going to play a big part. Offer them employment, of course, onboarding. So you're going to go over all the things that you'll be going over for your onboarding. So that could be your tax forms, the contracts, your NDAs you have them do. If you have an employee handbook or a small phlebotomy employee handbook, that's definitely going to be needed too. Safety protocols, training programs, if you wanted to train them on certain equipment that you have, like all of that's going to be on the onboarding portion of things because you pretty much hire them, right? And then orientation and training is going to be the next thing. So that's going to be more so of you either doing hands-on with them or have an experienced phlebotomist kind of shadow them. Or if you do the training, which I think is okay, is the QC. So if they pass everything, the interview's fine. It's actually it's popping, okay? It's literally everything you can think of for a phlebotomist. It's just on point, okay? So you now trust this person, right? And now you tell them to go to this person's house and draw their blood, right? Because you're taking this risk, okay? Now, when this person goes out there to draw this person's blood, you're going to do a QC, which is a quality control call, okay? You're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call and ask that patient, how was the visit? Were they on time? Were they rough with you? Were they gentle with you? You need to do this, okay? Especially if the phlebotomist is rock socking and you feel like they're doing everything right in the interview and they answer all your questions. You need to make sure. You need to have that sense of reassurance. You know what I mean? So definitely, just keep that in mind, okay? But yes, these are, hiring phlebotomists. This is like, what you use to hire phlebotomists. And if you guys want this is going to be in the 2.0 program. So just tap into here and you'll see hiring phlebotomy employees. So we're going to go into the top 20 interview questions. Okay. You guys ready for that? If you guys are ready, comment ready. Where's your drinks at, you guys? A little wine over here. All right. Let's keep it going. How do you feel about former coworkers? I feel like former coworkers for me, it depends. Because you got some people that everyone has an agenda. I'm sorry. Someone has there's always some type of motive. I feel like, especially if you're doing good for yourself. Let's just say if you actually did leave your lab or your quest, right? And you had a really good, relationship with one of your coworkers, right? And now they want to work for you. I strongly, unless they're entrepreneurs, no, and and when I say that, let me explain. So let's just say, for instance, you hire Nia. Nia's been your coworker for 5 years now. She loves your grind. She loves what you've been doing and everything. She wants to support you. You got your wings and you got on up out of here at the lab court, right? So she still works there, right? Her effort or her commitment isn't as strong with you as you think. You know what I mean? Granted, she's going to be willing to help you do some draws here and there, but she's not 100% in it. You know what I mean? Regardless if she says, "Here, girl, I'm gonna hook you up. I'm gonna draw their blood. I'm gonna sleep outside their house to make sure I get them and everything." Right? They're gonna really boost your head up. But when you're in that place to say, "Hey, Nia, I need you to do this draw at 6," and she's gonna say, "Hey, I got other obligations that I'm committed to as well." You know what I mean? So if Nia was in this position to where she's a CEO and now she wants to get into GP with you, which is general partnerships, now we talking, you know what I mean? Now we're talking, not just a coworker, but now you're a partner with me. You know what I mean? So if you're again, if it's a coworker and you're still working a 9 to 5, I was just kind of, stay away from that because they're not 100% invested into you. Because if they were, they will leave their 9 to 5 and commit with you 100%. You know what I mean? But I wouldn't do that. And jealousy is a big thing too, because like I said, everyone has a hidden agenda, because it's going to be at some point where she feels like, why you and not me? You know what I mean? So just something to put in perspective. Okay. Good question though. Good question. That's awesome. Awesome. So let's get into these interview questions. Okay. So let's just say we're sitting down and we are talking. What's up, Instagram world? Hey y'all, what's going on? Who's in here? Drop your names. I'm talking to you guys. I'm talking to you. Yeah. Drop your name in the comment section. I would love to see what you guys are up to and what you guys are doing. All right, so the top 20 interview questions for mobile phlebotomists. Okay, so we're going to be asking these questions, but we're going live, talking to them on Zoom. And we're not going to sugarcoat it. We're going to ask them, and you're going to evaluate these people based off the answers they give to you guys, okay? So that's very important. So one of the questions is, can you describe your experience as a phlebotomist, including the types of setting you have worked in and the volume of patients you have handled? You should be able to answer that on the top of your head, right? Oh, I work with geriatric, bariatric, pediatric. I worked with clinics. I did methadone clinics. I've seen patients during the day, at nighttime. We see a max of 50 patients a day when I worked at LabCorp. When I did my 1099 working for another mobile phlebotomy company, we saw about 20 patients a day. We use different types of needles, different types of equipment too. You just start talking, and then when you start to really get a feel of that person, just talking and spitting out all that information, you're just like, okay, they know their shit. They know their stuff. I can converse with them, and like we have something relatable to talk about. You know what I mean? So huge. Okay. So how do you ensure patient safety and comfort during the phlebotomy process? You're going to get that, as a question as well that you want to ask them, and you're going to see what they say. What types of things that they do for safety and comfort. Like, how do you make sure that the specimens don't spill, they don't break? So those questions are needed to be asked. Make sure you take a screenshot of this. Okay. Don't sleep on it. Take a screenshot, and I'll do the rest of them so that you guys can take a screenshot of that too. Okay. And let's keep going. So what steps did you take to maintain a sterile and hygienic work environment? Good question. Some people use chucks, those are the little, there are these guys right here. Do you use sterile needles? Do you use your own equipment? Those types of questions. How familiar are you with the proper handling and disposal of biohazard material? Do you have a sharps container? If they bring that up, awesome. That's cool points. That's points letting you know, like, hey, they know their stuff about sharps and they can dispose of it in the right containers and a biohazard. Blase. Can you explain the process you follow to verify patient's identification before performing a blood draw? Basic stuff, you guys. Okay, so I want you guys to take a screenshot. I'm not going to go through them all, but these are just like an idea here. I go through the other ones too so you guys can see. Bam. Take a screenshot. Awesome. Who's all in here? I want to see you guys' names. I only see one person, which is Peace is Me. Everyone else just says Facebook user. Drop your names in the chat. I would love to see who's all in here tonight because I'm talking and it's late. I'm like, listen, I'm going to talk to you guys on the late. My thoughts and what I be feeling and want to say comes at night. Like all the time. So I'd be wanting to vent and talk to you guys. So maybe this is like a really, really good place for me to make a connection with y'all so we can talk. I'm a night owl too, okay? I am a night owl. What's up, Josh? How are you? Josh, what's going on, my guy? But yes, yes, I'm a night owl. I get it from my mom though. She was just all about that life. So these are the 20 questions. Again, make sure you got screenshots of that. So whenever you do hire your phlebotomists or your 1099 workers, you'll be able to know what to say, you know, or know what questions to bring about. Here are some job posting examples. Very generic because everyone's going to be doing different things. I know people doing PRPs right now. I know people that are doing CLIA wave testing, so more rapid. So this is just generic. If you guys have this, or if you guys are in the 2.0, this will be all in there. So you'll be able to have some job posting examples. All right. So I just wanted to go over that with you guys because, again, my hiring process when I first started was crazy because my girl, she robbed me. She robbed me clean for that equipment. She literally robbed me clean for that equipment, but now she's a mentee, and it's so crazy how that happens. Again, I locked on. When I saw that she made payment for mentorship and coaching, I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird, but I you know what? God has everything lined up for me for a reason, and it was a test, and I have no ill will, but I do have wisdom about it. So now I can tell you guys what to look out for so that you don't go through the same mistake. And as tempting as it is to want to get a fulfillment or a job done the same day, it's not worth your reputation, okay? Because that could have been a situation to where now I lost a contract by somebody else's negligence, you know, and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear a phlebotomist called out or was a no call. They don't want to hear none of that. Okay, so just know who you're about to hire, and know that, you know, you got your baby. This is your baby. Like, do you give your baby to random people that you know you can't trust? You know, you got to really think of it like that, you know. So have those conversations, get those interviews, meet them on video so that you can actually talk to them, see how they move, just see them in motion. Like, that's all important. So have you guys ever hired someone that was just like crazy, that did some wild stuff? I heard another story. Someone was hired and they brought their kids to the patient's house. So crazy, right? They brought their 2 daughters to the patient's house, and on top of that, they didn't get the draw. They missed the second time, and it was a bruise from her pinky all the way down to her elbow. Crazy, right? Crazy. So you bruised my arm from my pinky to my elbow. You got your kids in my house, no mask on. Ma'am, you gotta lose this contract, or ma'am, you about to be fined or something. Like, what? You know, this is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? So I see it, I hear it. I don't know what you guys be thinking sometimes. What stories have you guys ever encountered or came about? I would love to know. I would love to hear your stories, actually. I would love to. You know, have you ever been in a situation to where you've worked with someone in the phlebotomy industry and they've done something that was just like so far-fetched, and it's just like, why do you do that? Or how, like, another story. Oh my gosh, I have so many. So many. We had a phlebotomy tech. She was actually, you know, doing draws in her area, killing it, you know, doing everything the right way and stuff. But then she started to, you know, partner with her sister, who is also a phlebotomist. And then they were actually doing the billing for the Medicare and actually falsifying the mileage, you know. So they were saying that they were getting paid X amount when really people were closer than what they were. So that's another thing where it's just like, why do you guys have the audacity? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes, another one too, I'll tell you that one, but you guys have the audacity to try to work the system in this field when you're blessed to actually have the knowledge to know how to start something that thousands of people are trying to figure out. You know what I mean? So it's a slap in the face, you know, when you try to work the system like that. It's just like out of pocket. But what I think is when people feel like they're getting, sorry guys. When I feel like people are trying to, you know, get over, it'll definitely catch up with you guys. But yeah, that was that situation because it was just like, why are you guys stealing from Medicare? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like they're trying to reimburse you so that you're able to sustain a living, so that you're able to help out other people draw more blood, right? But whatever. People are just weird. Of course, you heard about Elizabeth Holmes. Those are like the worldwide scammers of the medicine or the laboratory industry. Like, I don't understand why she did what she did. It was just wild. Just, I don't know. I don't understand. I do not understand. I see people smoking weed in between patients, and the reason why I know that is because I see people smoking weed on their lives. They'll get on live, and literally just be having the blunt and just flying, going to LabCorp to drop the specimens off. And I'm just like, oh my God. Like, and it's embarrassing because it's just like, we're not all like that. And it's just like, just so ghetto. Like, I remember one time I had an actual drop off, like, and the phlebotomist came, and this made me kind of inspired to start my own business. She was so smoked out when we opened up the bag. It was like all this, like a cloud came out the specimen bag. It was like, damn, like, oh my gosh, like you have some audacity, to drop off the specimen in the bags and just smoke. So she had to smoke weed in the car as she's bagging up the specimen, probably blew a couple smokes in there and then bagged it up and gave it, but it was just like, well, damn. Like, oh my gosh. So, people gave false time sheets. That's why, some people step down from like being managers or, being coordinators for phlebotomists because of like the excuses, that my car broke down, my tire has a flat. It's like, what are the odds? Granted, it does happen, don't get me wrong, but this is the fifth one this week, Tamika, and it's only Wednesday. You know what I mean? So it's like, how many times can you tell me this excuse? You know what I mean? So it's like, I'll get it myself. No worries. I'll do it. I'll get my content. I'll get my review. It's fine. But what have you guys encountered? I know I'm not the only one. I cannot be the only one in this world that goes through the BS in phlebotomy and never talks about it, okay? This is your time to actually talk about it. Took plasma from the CBC tube and sent it. Wait, what? Oh, wow. Took plasma from the CBC tube and sent it in for testing. Oh, my goodness. What have you guys went through on Instagram world? What have you guys actually went through? We're talking on the other platform. Do you pay your 1099 contractors per draw or hourly? So that's going to all depend. Me personally, I do everything per stick. So per stick, and that's how you get paid. I tell my 1099 workers, you don't get paid per hour. You don't get paid part time. You don't get paid full time. You get paid your time. So whatever time you put your availability on. So let's just say Mike says he's available from 12 to 1. I'm sorry, not 12 to 5 on Monday. If I have patients that need blood work, I'm giving him all those patients on that scheduled time. So he'll maybe have 5 patients or maybe 10 patients with those 10 patients, he'll get per draw, he'll get paid for each one. Good question. Are you guys going to the beta on Tuesday? If you guys are interested in the beta, comment beta. I can see you over the link. This is for the actual 4-week class for coaching for starting your business, okay? Hey, Clinical Sticks. We're just going over the hiring process, what some things I went through with hiring and why you should have a hiring process for your business, because you don't want to be in a situation I was in where I hired just anybody and I got screwed over. And it's happened many times, I had a person call, and just got information. It wasn't enough, and that's one thing about me. I'm not afraid to talk at all. Let me let that be very clear. Tell you guys too on Instagram world, okay? I am not afraid to talk at all. I can tell you all the information you want to, okay? Why? Because I know that, there's so much more information out there you still need, okay? So I tell people, a person who's afraid to talk doesn't know enough, okay? So I'm going to tell you any and everything, but I know that there's going to be more that you absolutely need to get what you want, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much it, what I got for you guys. This is great. I had a good time. I love venting with you guys. and talking with you guys. This is great. This is going to be my nighttime venting. I'm hiring now for my second location. I have Dallas now. I'm opening in Austin. Awesome. So, did you do your hiring process as far as you asking them questionnaires? Are you doing it on a Zoom? Are you doing any panel interviews? So maybe if you have a phlebotomist that's already working for you right now, you say, hey, would you like to join a panel interview so that we can see and screen another potential 1099 worker, so that you're not always getting patients on the east side when I have you scheduled always on the north side. You know what I mean? So now they're saying, okay, cool. They sit with you on the panel, and then you guys both ask questions just to see if you're a right fit. And then afterwards, you guys have a conversation. You guys, go through your checklist or whatever that you want to, analyze the specific potential person. You know what I mean? So you're going to do that so that you can know if this is the right fit. Okay. I love panels. Panels are fun. You can make them very, 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 very interesting. Okay. You just need about 2 or 3 people, honestly, but they are fun. I love them. One second. Hey, Clinical 6, what's going on? We just have a late night talking and drinking wine. I have a little bit too much, but I'm a lightweight. Okay, I don't drink too much. I'm very light. I am very light. Very light. What other questions you guys have for me? And what scenarios have you went through? I mean, if a 1099 worker were to, let's just say, work with you, right? And you guys went through the whole interview process and everything. And let's just say they no call, no show for you. What would you do? It's like, what can you do, honestly? Like, all I can do is, mark them off, don't work with them no more, and just, get the blood draw for my patient. And if I'm late or if it's an inconvenience for my patient, I just try to make the situation better. Maybe offer them a discount, a gift card, something to where I'm compensating them for our mistake on our behalf, So, what situations you guys went through? I'm not the only one, so stop it. Don't make it seem like y'all phlebotomy lives are perfect. Y'all CEOs, listen, we all go through stuff. So tell me what you guys go through as well. I would love to hear it. Khalil, what's your hiring process? Oh, my hiring process. I just went through it. I went through it. It's all over here. So we do. Here, I'm gonna just breeze through it really quick so you can just see what we were talking about. So the hiring process. So this is where we go through the identifying the staff needs. So we find the specific positions that's needed for that specific location, right? We're going to determine the workload, the employees that's needed or phlebotomists needed. So we're going to figure out what's absolutely needed. Okay. Then we're going to have our job description. So what we need. The responsibilities, the roles, recruitment strategy. So we need to recruit them. So you got ZipRecruiter, you got what's it called? Indeed, you got Monster, people on Facebook too, on Instagram, TikTok. You can do a post there so people can jump on board. So there's different ways to recruit, of course. Application screening. So you're gonna review the application or the resume to see if you're even qualified to actually book an actual interview with you, right? Then you're gonna do the actual interview, and that's where the actual 20 questions come into place. Okay. Once we do the interview, we get experience with the person, get their knowledge, know about their abilities in phlebotomy. You do a skill assessment before the interview too. So let's just say, hey, I want to have them do a 10 to 20 question skills assessment just to see if they know anything about phlebotomy, if they really know their phlebotomy stuff, so that if, they don't, it won't even waste my time for them to even see me. You know what I mean? So that's going to be the skills assessment, okay, and testing prior to the actual interview. Background checks, because you don't want nobody who just shot up a bank a couple years ago and now are out and now they're working with you to be working with you. It's just unsafe, for not only your business, but for the patients too. And references, of course, because you don't want to just hire anybody. I had situations to where I was talking to people's mothers, people's relatives. I need to speak to phlebotomist that has worked with this specific person. I don't need you to talk about cousins and Uncle Pookie, and it's just no. I don't like that. It's just not for me. Of course, you're going to have your decision making. You're going to decide, whether this person's qualified or not. Offer them employment, of course. You're going to do your onboarding process, so your tax forms, your contracts, your business policies, procedures, safety protocols, etc. Even your training on how you do your specimen collections and how you expect them to do it too. And then finally, your orientation and training, so you can actually, either follow them or shadow them or do a QC call. So you'll do quality control with the patient after your phlebotomist has done the draw. Were they on time? Were they professional? Were they gentle? How many times did they stick you? You just have maybe 5 to 10 questions for the patient, and if they answer them and they're appropriate, you maybe want to do that maybe like the first 10 times maybe, or you do them random just to make sure, and then they'll be booked in your business. They'll be working for you. So that's going to be the orientation and training. So once that's done and over with, you go over to where we at. We're going to go over to the top 20 interview questions right here. And then you just pretty much go through the interview questions, basic stuff. But again, this is going to be something like an icebreaker so that you can just get a feel on who they are. And if they're a fit for your phlebotomy business, they should be able to describe, different phlebotomy techniques, capillary punctures, venipunctures, all of that. Okay. And then, once you go through your interview process, figure out if you want to work with them. Are you guys seeing my screen? I don't think you guys can see my screen over here. Sorry, guys. But that's it. That's all I have for you, ladies and gentlemen. I just wanted to vent that off. I just wanted to talk for about an hour. It's been 54 minutes, so that's actually pretty good for me. But I'm loving this platform. I love just like talking and just like talking phlebotomy, talking experience. I'm about to get on your nerves. I'm gonna be live all the time. Now I'm gonna be on your timelines. I'm gonna be everywhere because I can't stop talking. I just love to do it. I had to figure it out first, and once I figured it out, bam, here I am. Oh, here I am. I'm so excited. I am so excited. So I focus more on getting contracts as of now. I don't do any of the testing myself. Any off the testing myself for patients? Okay. I do the same process. Do you require them to have insurance? So the insurance portion, you can get your 1099 to get insurance maybe after the 30th day for your mobile phlebotomy business, because it's going to be good for everyone to have insurance. But let's just say if you have you got your mobile phlebotomy business up and running and you have a 1099 worker working for you, you can have it to where they sign an agreement to where they can draw underneath your business for the first 30 days, but they need to get their insurance for their business. And that's when you prompt them over to CMNF for individual insurance so they can get coverage for themselves. Okay. Do not pay for it. I've seen people paying for it, and it doesn't make any sense for me because sometimes those people don't even work for you no more, and you're still paying for their insurance, man. What are you doing? Like, it doesn't make any sense. They have to pay for their own. But I've seen people that don't have their 1099 workers have insurance. So it's just going to all depend on you specifically. But yes, they're going to pay for their own insurance. So after the 30th day or the 60th day or how many days you want to do it, they are liable after that day. It's going to be on their insurance. I had such a good time on this. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll be talking to you guys tomorrow. So make sure you hop on there. I'll have another juicy topic that we can jump on and just learn from as well. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Have a great night. I see you guys in the beta on Tuesday. If you guys are interested, make sure you guys join the beta. Beta.